guys want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we could grab some coffee?
Coffee! Coffee, 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 coffee!
How you doing, fellas?
Oh, shit. Okay.
That's not decaf, is it?
Viennese cinnamon.
Oh my God. Oh, I forgot the fucking brandy again. Jesus Christ. Why do I get up in the morning? I don't know. That's that's tasty. I use whole cream in my coffees, and you can taste the difference in fucking non-dairy creamers or all those things. It's a big difference. I've been having a lot of internet issues. Last night I was on with Kyle. Fucking Wi-Fi went completely down. I'm supposed to get my in fact, you know what? While I'm talking, I'm going to check my email and check the tracking on my Mint SIM card, which is supposed to be here today. So I'm going to go look at that. Let's see what they have to say. Click it on my email, and I'm going to, wow, geez, a lot of comments and everything over the night. I'm sorry to hear Deanna tested positive for COVID.
Damn, that's...
Yeah, she posted that last night, so hope she's feeling okay. Let's see. Track your order from your friends at Mint. I really feel like they mean that. It is in Springfield right now. Who is fucking eating and rappers and driving me crazy like we're in a movie theater?
Oh, that kind of rapper. Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've got one of these bottles. I'll return the favor after a while and crush the bottle right into the microphone.
Oh no! Oh no!
So Keith sent me a bunch of messages last night. Some of them where he's crying and he hates his job. Like, I don't want to be here.
You're not supposed to talk about that, man.
And I barely got any sleep last night. A very certain special someone that I'm imagining is watching right now. I couldn't stop thinking about her all night. And it was maddening, I say. Maddening! And finally, I passed out.
Was it the alcohol?
No, I don't drink. But I do like my coffee.
Me too.
Good morning, Wajid. Let's say good morning to everybody. We got, of course, the Marshal over in Croatia. Good morning, my friend. Scott Lewis in Springfield. How are you doing, my buddy?
Scott Lewis?
Yeah, Scott Lewis, our buddy. He actually comes to YouTube now and watches us so he can interact with us.
He's awesome like that.
Mr. Tickle Trunk is here. Good morning, Mr. Tickle Trunk.
What's up, Tickle?
And another good friend to this channel, D. Bud Martin. I like it. I really fucking like going over into other chats because, I don't know, it's sort of like when you go to like some sort of gathering and you're like, oh, God, I'm not going to know anybody. Oh, this is going to be awful. And then I'm in the chat and I look up and I see guys like Monkey Jeebus, D. Bud Martin, Mr. Tickle Trunk, and I'm like, oh, my God, it's so good. And then I think, why are you watching this guy's show? You should be watching mine all the time. And Ray Run. No, I never think that. But I'm so grateful. We have some great friends here. And Alatar, good morning. Dr. Dragon. Socks is here. Hey, you made it this time on time. Holy crap. Willie Woodward is here. I liked one of your videos last night, Willie, dealing with music, and I thought that was neat because I think you use a similar program to what I use. I'm going to bet that this is Stephanie Beatty. Wajid, I think I already said hi to Wajid. Yeah. Raging Rat is here. Pops is here. Holy crap, Pops. What is up? CC's here. Good morning, CC.
Sup, CC?
Oh, and DC Talk with Extended. Yes. How are you doing? We're going to be talking a little stuff this morning because there's some shit going on at DC. And I'm not sure that the ramifications, if this is this comic oriented or is this like TV? What were you talking about? Because I never got a chance to read it.
Oh, it's comic oriented.
Okay, because that's what I thought. Because the article shows comic art, not anything else. But D Bud, it's everybody. Kingsport Cal, what is up, brother? Christopher Carroll, yes, they're all here. Yes. Anyway, and Pat S is here. Good morning, Pat. I hope you got my message this morning because Tom and I are not in the planning stages yet. We are on we're doing this stage. That's where we're at, Pat.
Excitement.
Where we're excited. It's like, this is going to happen. When? I don't know yet. And to be honest with you, because the one thing that he and I enjoyed doing on Sundays was those unproduced script readings. You know, like that one Batman film that was never produced, way before Michael Keaton and Tim Burton were involved. That shit was fun, even though we could see where some of the elements from that script too went into the movie. There were a lot that were left out, and honestly, for good reason. It was really, some of it was just dumb. But I think I got everybody. I want to wish you all a happy Friday. This is the end of the week for most people that work jobs, not everybody, because some people work weekends. I work 7 days a week, so I even forget when it's Friday. I have to have a calendar to remind me because my days really do blend together. It's bizarro. But let me get off this large mode and get us back to normal. I only want to do stuff like that for the greetings. I'm reading. Okay. Yeah, I saw notifications about more shows being canceled for HBO. Look, man, the work's not done. We're probably going to see stuff for a little bit here. And I do believe that I am right on this, that we will see some of the payoffs from what's happening in 2023 and not just 2024. The big ones are going to be 2024. But I think we're going to see a couple of things that really were paid forward by what's going on. And I wanted to go check some of the news because have we seen any big updates since yesterday on because let me go to what Six said this morning. And by the way, did you post it in that chat, Martin, the group chat?
Nope.
It's probably why nobody's here. All right. Let me go do that.
What?
Our group chat, the morning coffee. Yeah, it's not in there. We got to post the invite in there if people want to join us.
Oh, sorry.
That's all right. I just sent it in there. Why did it not fully load? Well, the link works. It doesn't matter. So, guys, there you go. Why didn't it fully load? Let me refresh that page. That's weird. It didn't fully load. Why is it doing that? There. Now it loaded.
You see that's why I didn't put the link.
Now, fully loaded, and then it's not fully loading. It doesn't matter. The link still works, but I like it when they can see the duck for the invitation. No problem, Pat. I will message you. I got your last message, so I'll get in touch with you and I'll set up a conversation between the three of us, you, Tom, and me.
Hello, Decepticons.
Oh, Decepticons Cave of Villains is here. Good morning. That's the article. I think I already have it open, but I'll open it again. I have like one browser that's got like 22 articles open in it. And I really wanted to check on the kid too this morning. See if we got any updates. Jordan Elsass from Superman and Lois. What I'm curious about is his coming out might have played into this, or if it was mental health, because when you see stuff like that, 90% of the time it's dealing with their public sexuality and or their mental health. It'll just end up popping up. Here's one from Insider. All right, let me share the screen here. Share screen. Boom. Superman and Lois star leaves show after, yes, go away, after sharing that he is going to a facility to get mental health back on track. That's sad that he had to walk away from the show, because he was a really good part of the show. I thought he was a good actor. And what's amazing is his eye shape is very similar to his co-star that plays his brother. So they actually do, when you're looking at them, your subconscious picks up the similarity. And so them playing brothers really does work on a lot of different levels. Good morning, Lindsay. How are you? Brandon, buddy. War Monkey is here. One of my two favorite monkeys. Is Monkey Jeebus here too? Yeah, Monkey Jeebus is here too. Both monkeys. I'm going ape shit. Anyway. Yeah, that was a fake laugh. Anyway. That's the going crazy laugh. So Baked Bean is here also. I listen to Rush to keep my mental health. No, dude, when I was in the military, that was really, we got to listen to him through Armed Forces Network. And he really helped a lot of us inadvertently keep our sanity, because, we hated CNN. We hated him all the way back into the 90s. Like Wolf Blitzer, these guys thought they were the fucking stars of the war. It's like, there are fucking soldiers on the ground, motherfucker. There are men and women fighting in the air, and you're fucking acting like you're the stars. Dragon Bricks. Guten Morgen, mein Freund. What is this? The anime guy. Blu-rays are supposed to be delivered today. Oh, what are we talking about? Wait, is this? I'm missing it. I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about. Oh, Rush is in the band. Yeah, I love Rush. When I was drumming, somebody says, "Can you drum like him?" And I said, "It's funny you said that, because one of my tests was I did the drumming on one of the Rush songs, and I just forgot the fucking song I did. And I said it was one of the hardest things I ever fucking did. He's a precision drummer. He's like Krupa and those guys, Buddy Rich. Even though Buddy Rich could be very organic in his drumming, he was also a precision drummer. That's why he wrote a lot of his songs that the drums were important to. He wrote the drum notes out. He would write actual drum notes in music form. And I wasn't that kind of drummer. I go by the feel of the song. I follow the bass line. That's why in bands, a lot of times you'll see drummers and bassists like best buddies, because they're the ones that are holding down where the song goes. It has a cool little fox that assists you. Yes! And that's how I've been doing the updates, getting the updates. It's been an interesting experience. And if I didn't show you, I got so pissed off after they were already 4 days late, Boost, and never sent me tracking like they said they were going to send me. In the next day or so, we'll be sending the tracking for your Boost mobile SIM card. I'm like, okay, never came. I checked my spam folder. It never came. I waited until they were like I said, about 4 days late, and then I ordered, and you got to prepay for Mint. You got to pay for 3 months. So I paid 3 months, and that was on Saturday. And then on Monday, I got this Boost Mobile SIM card. Never going to activate it. Fuck them. Mint actually, does what they say they're going to do. Boost didn't. And when I called Boost, it took forever to finally get through to somebody. I got somebody in Asia that couldn't help me. I do not even see you as an active customer. I have an email that says I am an active customer. 2 emails. I've got 3 emails that say I'm an active customer. That all I need to do is activate my. Well, really, until you activate the card, you're. And I'm like, okay, you all can go fuck yourselves. I'm a big fan of Abbott and Costello and Who's on First. I don't want to fucking live it. I have, let's see. I love Tool's recent album. I haven't seen it or heard it, Mr. Tickletron. I have to go check that out. All right, I don't know who that is over on Facebook. So they're going to make me go over to find out. Go to Facebook. I really hate Facebook and StreamYard. They do not tell us who anybody is. What would really be nice when you say your first good mornings, put your name in there. This is, because I'm telling you, Facebook and StreamYard don't work together very well. Is that you, Stephanie? Nice. Nice software, Stephanie. Yep. Oh, Keith's the one who wrote Howdy. Look who's a dick this morning and didn't fucking put their name on it, knowing that fucking it's a mystery on fucking StreamYard.
What the black guy hate?
I'm cranky.
Oh, you're
good morning, Penny. How are you today?
Hello, Penny. I was just talking to my mom.
So, well, we've got no Danny, though. I have not heard from Danny, but I'm assuming he's taking his boy to school this week.
Yeah.
So
doing the dad thing. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, input. Yeah, Stephanie knows her fucking number 5 is alive. So
super chat from Mr. Tickletron. Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, dude, Tickle Trunk, man. I was my fucking jam. I love that fucking movie. It had, you had 2 guys from the Police Academy films in it.
Mm-hmm.
And despite being, today, by today's standards, that's racist having a Jewish guy play like he's Indian or Pakistani, because I can't remember which one he is. When he's talking like this, number 5, I forget that young man's name. He's older than me. I called him that, but when he was young, when he played that part, but very good actor. Stevens. But Fisher Stevens, he had some personal problems that really caused him issues. But he was on that series too in the 90s where the guy would get the newspaper, the news of the next day from the future.
First edition.
So that was a good show. And I really liked Fisher Stevens. And the beautiful what's her name? She was Chucky's bride. I can't think of her name right now.
Jennifer Tilly.
Jennifer Tilly.
I really like Fisher Stevens in the movie My Science Project. I thought he was better in that.
That is such a forgotten film. It really is a classic, dude.
That is a very late.
We need to talk about that film sometime. Can I punch you in the face? No, it would hurt.
Hey, Polly. Welcome.
No, buddy. Do not punch me in the face. Mr. Teturns, thank you for the $2 super chat. Glad you like the reference. When you're hanging out with me, Keith will tell you I'm throwing out movie references all the time in conversation. For you, they won't let me upload any new videos. So I'm going to give you one of my favorite Arnold moments again, because I just love this scene.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last?
That's right, Major. You did.
I lied.
Great fucking movie.
I missed that 100.
What's that?
I missed that, Arnold. I do.
Yeah. Funniest line in the film was when he said, "You don't fuck with no Green Beret. I eat Green Berets for breakfast." I'm like, that didn't sound gay at all. Even when I heard it the first time, I was like, that would be something I'd jump on with a friend if they said that.
I'm here, John. Like,
great freaking movie. So that is Stephanie Beatty. So hi, Stephanie. There she is. You can see her. All right, drop that shit down. Let's get back to what were we looking at?
Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you very much. That's just one of those 80s films that, you know, it's not meant to be anything more than what it is. That's all. My Science Project. Come on.
Oh, this is something I wanted to talk about too before we get heavy into the comic thing. Yesterday, I got so fucking irritated. Nothing annoys me more. And people think, oh, you're not that serious. Come on, about moon landing deniers. I'm like, I had a working relationship with a comic writer that he had some great ideas. Yeah, I did. I did address it, script. I said, we're going to talk about it. I absolutely did address it. And Keith responded to it. But I said, we'll get to that in a little bit, because one of the things I wanted to talk about that I didn't put on there, but I planned on talking about is this fucking, fucking conspiracy theories can really fucking send me off, man. They can just fucking annoy me. And people who are moon landing deniers really fucking irk the shit out of me. So I went to town yesterday on my personal YouTube account, Twitter account. And I think it's on the Twitter account over on the, let me go look and see. Because it was on a respected news agency. Published this article, moon landing denier, says video that he looked at in photos shows that there's no camera. I said, well, first of all, you have to know what kind of camera they had and how they used them on the moon, because you can't fucking carry them. They were at risk of falling down constantly because of how oddly shaped their suits were, and they were dealing with 1/6 Earth's gravity. So it was just really bizarre how they had learned to walk. And when you watch the miniseries From the Earth to the Moon, they finally figured out how to emulate walking on the moon. And they put balloons, helium-filled balloons, that caused them to weigh 1/6 their normal weight. And so their movement was exactly like what it would be on the moon. And they shot the entire series when they're on the moon doing that. Fucking brilliant. Here we go. This is where it starts. All right, sharing screen. So I see this article and I'm like, moon landing conspiracy theorists are claiming this photo is proof of hoax. And, you know, it goes through this article and what they're saying. And then you get to watch this video, and I'm not going to play much of this. But what you end up seeing, what he's talking about, is this photo here and that right there, this guy here. Now, you can clearly see a defined dark spot here, and that is the camera. And the reason I know that is because, and sadly, he's Scottish. If you could hear that, I don't know if you could hear that, him talking about what he was looking at. And he keeps looking at this fucking image, and he's trying to figure out, you know, what's what in that picture. Well, if you did your research, you would know that this is what they looked like. This is how their cameras are mounted on their suits. Some were film cameras and some were 35 millimeter. And as I recall, even the film camera shot 35 millimeter film. So, because they wanted the highest quality. But when you look at this image here, they're looking at each other. This guy in the reflection is the one taking this photo. So let's get closer so you can even see it more. And I'll open an image in a new tab so we can zoom in and in and in. And if it weren't for the fact that there's light on this part of his body, you would not know that that is his camera right there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sick of stupid people. I really am. These fucking moon deniers are fucking idiotic. They really are. Stanley Kubrick did not fucking help NASA fake it. That's really one of the most insulting things to Stanley Kubrick as a filmmaker. You know, there's so much evidence. You know, the biggest argument I used to get was, how do they get through the Van Allen belt? And I'm like, they're not staying in it. They're not sleeping in it. They just have to pass through it. And all that's required to fight it, the radiation, is aluminum and plastic. That's all you require. You don't need lead to get through. It'll be less radiation than you get from a single modern X-ray going through the Van Allen. Just fucking people are stupid. Good morning, Six. I just saw Six.
Yeah, proper Gerry from.
Yeah, there was no selfie sticks back then. What? Enhance. Yeah, Blade Runner. One of the best Blade Runner nods was in Super Troopers when he's sitting at the computer and zooming in on a photo and he keeps going, enhance, enhance. And Brian Cox does the classic Oliver Hardy, will you open it? I love that movie. I swear to God, the next one of you that says shenanigans, I'll shoot you. Hey, Farva, what's that restaurant you like to go to with all the I don't remember how they say it, bric-a-brac or bullshit on the walls? He goes, what, shenanigans? And they go, oh, with the gun. I'm like, what a great fucking moment in cinema history.
The way you do that just reminds me of Who Framed Roger Rabbit with the weasels. You just stop at laughing.
Yeah, if they laugh, they die. Absolutely, Mr. Tickle Trunk, because the scariest part was they knew they could get somebody to the moon. That wasn't the problem. It was, are we going to be able to get them back? That was their greatest fear, that we would land on the moon and fucking die there. So I just find people like that. And what I wrote on, I basically, in my comment there, I said, if you look, you can fucking see. And if you know how their suits work and how their cameras work, you would know the answer to your own stupid fucking question. Who's taking that picture?
I'm telling you, look, my entire life, was spent looking up to those guys because I was born right around when we started all of that. So, I mean, I was kind of born into it. So I have mad respect for everyone that was a part of all of those programs because of how hard you had to work, especially with the people still here who were just, you know, going out of their minds hoping to get these guys back. You know, you got to really
you
that.
have no idea how high the stress levels were at their command center there. Was that at Cape Canaveral or Houston? I forget.
I think that's Houston. I think
Houston.
that was Houston.
Houston was their command center. That's right. But absolutely, you know, these guys were absolute potential stroke victims. All of them.
Yes. I mean, think about it.
Shit.
You just sent 3 guys up there, and you have no reason to believe we're going to see all 3 of those.
1 in orbit and 2 on the ground, you know, and it's like that one guy might be the only one that makes it back.
I mean, look at it this way. What we have in these phones right now, more power than what they were dealing with.
No, you don't understand. It's worse than that. The
pocket calculators.
The 1980s pocket calculator, when they came out, had the same technology of what they had on the fucking lunar module and in the orbiter. It's just, that's it. It was a calculator is what they figured everything out with. It was no more advanced than that. Texas Instruments fucking calculator.
Power math indeed, my friend.
Oh, Black Ass says the moon is fake.
Wow. Those astronauts had balls. Balls, I tell you.
Yeah.
And that's
so
another reason why I enjoyed, you know, learning about it, you know, and why one of my favorite all-time films is The Right Stuff. So
look, I went and I saw the review. I haven't watched it yet still. I was busy doing other things. And but I read Critical Drinkers comments, and this one scene he posted is, he says everything that's wrong with the episode, and it's when she goes off on your stereotypical female splaining moment on the Hulk, and he's just like nodding at her. She's talking about men, cat calls, blah blah blah, all this stuff, and you don't know what that's like because you've been dealing with this since you were irradiated. I've been dealing with this all my life. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Thanks, Vicky.
I just thought it was a dumb scene. And I'm like, yeah, I'm probably not even going to fucking watch it. Because the two things that, one thing that Martin here said, and the thing that Critical Drinker said just tells me it's not going to be a fun ride for me. It's going to be like being stuck in a car with someone you really fucking hate. That's what that's going to feel like for me.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things to watch out there. I'm telling you, Daylight or Day Shift, fun fucking movie. Pure fucking toxic fun.
Yep.
The brothers, man.
The brothers are the best.
They better get their own movie. Netflix better just go ahead and greenlight their movie right now.
And they need to. I can hardly wait to see where this goes. There needs to be a sequel with that ending.
Yeah.
I like what happens to Franco's character, and I like that he has a partner love interest now. By the end of the film, she's a cutie patootie that can fucking kill. Fucking awesome.
They never really explain what her purpose is, other than the fact that she was next door to him and she gave them the information.
She was forced.
Yeah.
To do what she was doing. She was just recently made. So that asks the question, how'd she learn to fight like that? And that means she was something before, and she was made with a reason. Mm-hmm. So that's why I find her character very interesting, but we don't know that much about her yet. And I want to know more about that character. Franco's character finally gets over his fears. Jamie Foxx realizes he needed to tell his wife the truth, and that brought them back together again. And he really needs to work on his daughter acting like a fucking child, and not trying to be grown up, because that was my war with Zoe. The minute she hit 11, it was a war between her and me. She wanted to grow up, and I'm like, no, you don't. You really fucking don't. You don't want this. You think you do, but I'm here to tell you, I will never lie to you. Adulting sucks. It just wears you down. What kills us in the end is not gravity. They say gravity is what ages us. No, it's all the fucking adulting we have to do.
I told my kids that. I said, and they all, I've heard it from all three of them. It's like, Dad, you were right. It's like, yeah, of course.
Hail Shinatsky.
So I really do, and it's true. It's fucking true. NPR had a really good article on the camera, by the way, that was used by NASA. The camera that went to the moon and changed how we see it. It is a great article. It's available on npr.org. Go look it up. Moon cameras, NASA, and the article will pop up. I'm trying to find that other article. Did I? Yeah, here we go. Insider. So I want to get back to this. So he's going to a mental health facility to get his mental health back on track. That's it's good for him, but it's sad that they lost him on the show. He was a no-show.
Yeah. And
according to a statement by Warner Brothers TV, the actor asked to leave for personal reasons. In June, Elsass posted on Instagram that he was heading to a facility for his mental health. So into the article, Superman and Lois star Jordan Elsass has left the show due to personal reasons, according to a statement from Warner Brothers Television. Elsass starred in the first 2 seasons of the CW superhero series as, I wish they would even call it that, CW. I just hate the letters being tagged to it. It really is, and we know that its budget was paid for by HBO Max.
Mm-hmm.
The money from HBO. CW didn't pay for the show. Superhero series as Superman's son, Jonathan Kent. However, in a statement to Deadline, Warner Brothers TV announced that the character will be recast for the 3rd season of the show. And yet, a lot of the articles are saying already recast. And I'm assuming it is recast already because they've known about this long enough.
Since June.
Yeah. So,
I mean, why is it like, why is it like shock and if you have someone posting that, they're going to go take care of their mental health in June, and you have a new season that you're gearing up to start working on and start shooting by at least late July, early August. I mean, I really don't see what the hang up was.
Yeah.
Let him go. I mean, part of the problem is that you got a lot of people connected to this company that have been connected in the past with this company that have had mental health issues. And if you really want to get on the good side of all this, you should start by at least, letting people go handle their issues before it gets out in the press, before fans find out. You help them.
Look, I've been a stage actor, card carrying. I actually was in the Stage Actors Union. Mm-hmm. I got my card when I was 12. I played in the dinner theater production of Tobacco Road, and I liked acting, but I found a lot of the actors that I'd work with, I got along with them on stage, but behind the stage, they were fucking weird, and they would just annoy me. I'm going to tell you, actors that I can't stand, the ones who do those, they make the oral sounds and shapes with their mouth, and start reciting things they were told by their theater director to do. They fucking annoy me, because this is me backstage before a play. I'm reading shit. I'm often going over the script in my head, wanting to make sure I don't miss my marks. Learning the other person's dialogue is so important in stage acting. Everybody should know each other's lines. That way, when you respond on stage, you're more believable. Mm-hmm. You should read, the way I recited lines, my dialogue, read it 20 times. Same thing with a name. If I say a name 20 times, I'll never forget that person's name. Reading my dialogue 20 times, it's in there. It's in there. And I'm good for at least during the run of the play. After that, I have important room I need in my brain, so I'm throwing shit out all the time that I don't need, like dialogue from a play. That's why if you ask me like a line from a play I did, I hardly ever remember them. I remember other shit that's important, but not that. Yeah, and Marshall, by the way, I read what you said. It's true. Skin knees and fucking ice cream. That's what should be important to you when you're a fucking kid.
Yep.
Not worrying about the weight of the world and having to make sure your kids have food, not having to worry about your wife, not having to worry about your husband, not worrying about, that car payment. Oh my God, I did not see this thing happening in our life. How are we going to make our payments? That's adulting, and it'll fucking kill you. It'll lead you to an early fucking grave. Why kids want to rush to that just shocks me. Yeah, I know, Marshall. I laugh because Anima likes poking fun at Marshall, and because I wanted to talk to Marshall about the war, because he was over there in the war in Croatia as a kid, and he experienced it as a child. And I kind of jokingly referred to Marshall as the Phoebe Cates character in Gremlins, with Santa, her dad dying in the chimney. I said that's Marshall in a conversation, because it's like, yeah, when I was a kid, I fell off a bike, broke my arm. What happened to you? I was in a war. And Marshall, I do respect that about you, but you have to admit that is funny. I'm so tired of Superman. I wish they would just do a Batman TV series. Look, man, that's what Arrow should have been. Arrow should not have been about Queen. It should have been Bruce Wayne. Fucking rights issues within the same fucking company. CW, Warner Brothers, same fucking Warner Brothers owned it, and they couldn't fucking get them the rights. DC.
I mean, you own all of these characters. You don't have to go out and rebuy anything, buy back stuff. I mean, that's really what Marvel had to do, because they had sold off the rights to some of their characters.
Yes, they did.
And so they had to buy back a lot of them. And so look, as soon as I retire, I will rent myself out to just go smack people. I think I can get a lot of money doing that in Hollywood. I will just, I could be like Terry Tate, office linebacker, but I don't want to put that much effort into it. I think some people just need that. They need it. They're begging for it. You just want to.
So Black-Az is back in here. Shanatsky, and Muhammad Saeed is here. Good morning. Good morning, all. So let's go ahead. I think everybody is here that's going to get here, because I like to wait till the first half hour, and we're already 15 minutes into that first half hour. So
I am with Monkey Jibus on this. I want Wildcats conversation.
Yep, here it comes. Keith, I'm going to put you in my seat and going to make you large. Large and in charge.
Make
large Marge.
Make us wiser, kid.
Well, you know what? I agree. I love Wildcats. Trust me. Having Jim Lee and all that stuff is amazing, and it sounds like what I've hoped for may come to pass. So this comes from our friends at Newsrama, not one of our favorite places to get stuff from.
No. Hey, look, you get information where you get it, but
that's right.
Doesn't mean you have to like them.
So the article is WILDSTORM and Wildcats blast DC back to the 90s this November. The article's by Samantha Puck, and it was published 23 hours ago. So Wildcats gets some new.
And I'm assuming this is her senior editors, Bridget Alverson, who posted the article.
Let's see. Okay, that's the other article that I sent you. That's from ICV2. But that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. I can read that one too.
Let's do that one first because that's where I'm at,
Okay.
and then I'll show the other one afterward.
Okay. DC Comics is going back to the future in November with revivals of Wildcats and Wildstorm, new and old Batman Spawn crossovers, and an array of variant covers and reprints. Here's a look at what's in store. Wildcats by writer Matthew Rosenberg, Batman Urban Legends, and artist Stefan Segovia, Spawn, returns as an ongoing series that pits the this is bad. Eponymous team against a group of covert operatives sent out by the Halo Corporation, followed by an encounter with the Court of Owls. The first issue will go on sale on November 18th with a main cover by Segovia, variant covers by Jim Lee, Stanley Artgerm Lau, and Ben Oliver. Wow. Can you believe it? Let's see. A 1 in 25 connected variant by Jeff Spokes, a 1 in 50 variant by Alan Qua, and a 1 in 100 variant by Dan Hip. A 1 in 150 pencil variant by Lee, and a 90s cover month variant by Brett Booth and Sandra Hope. Issue 2 will be released on December 6th with a main cover by Segovia, a 1 in 25 connecting variant by Jeff Spokes, a 1 in 50 variant by Howard Porter. Both comics are 32 pages with an MSRP of retail price, really, of $3.99 for the standard cover and $4.99 for the cardstock variants. That's not bad. Waller versus Wildstorm is a 4-issue miniseries set in the early 1980s during the slow thaw of the Cold War. Amanda Waller and Adeline Kane have teamed up, and Jackson King has them in his sights as Stormwatch goes up against Deathstroke and a host of other DC villains. The series is co-written by journalist Spencer Ackerman and veteran comics writer Evan
Narcisi.
I like that name, with art by Eric Battle. DC will publish the miniseries in its Prestige Plus format. The first issue will be released on November 15th with a main cover by Jorge Fornes, variant cover by Eric Battle, and a 1 and 25th variant by Mike Perkins. All covers are on cardstock and will retail for the 32-page comic will be $5.99. Still not that bad. Wildstorm 30th Anniversary Special number 1 is a 96-page one-shot that will reprint the short stories from the hardcover Wildstorm, A Celebration of 25 Years. New collection celebrates 25 years of Wildstorm, as well as new 6 stories about the Wildstorm characters in the DC universe. The creators in this special issue include Matthew Rosenberg, Joshua Williamson, Brandon Choi, J. Scott Campbell, yes, Brett Booth, and Ed Brissom. And artist Jim Lee, J. Scott Campbell, Brian Hitch, Brett Booth. The main cover is by Lee, with variant covers by Sozomika, Brian Hitch, Joshua Middleton, J. Scott Campbell, yes, and Lee Bermejo. A 1 in 25 glow-in-the-dark cover by Jeff Spokes, a 1 in 50th foil variant by Sozomika. All covers are on cardstock. The Prestige format comic will go on sale on November 29th with a retail price of $7.99. Batman Spawn. The classic collection will reprint Batman Spawn War Devil number 1.
Do we know who's doing their reprints? Because IDW is doing it, but I don't think they're doing it anymore.
That is a very good question. Seriously. Look, it seems like to me as of right now, whoever's been running DC up to this point, we got some right-thinking people there.
At least on this stuff. At least on this part.
Let's see. Doug Minch, Chuck Dixon, Alan Grant, and Klaus Johnson. And Spawn Batman by Frank Miller and Todd McFarlane. Yeah. And a single volume will be released to comic stores on November 15th. The 112-page hardcover will have a cover by Greg Capullo and Todd McFarlane. Whoa! And will retail will be $19.99. A new Batman Spawn #1 by McFarlane and Capullo will be a 48-page one-shot that brings the two iconic characters back together again. It was first announced in 2006. See Batman Spawn crossover, and will finally be published in December. Wow, talk about slow. And finally, DC plans to run at least 15 1990s themed variant covers during the month of November from a variety of different artists. Here is the list so far. Action Comics, 1049 by Roger Cruz. Batman 129 by Ryan Benjamin, fully embossed. Batman Incorporated #2 by Chris Burnham, fully embossed. Batman vs. Robin #3 by Carlo Barberi. Batman Superman World's Finest #9 by Chip Zdarsky. Batgirls #12 by Paulina Ganashu. Black Adam #6 by Carlo Barberi. Catwoman 49 by Jim Balint. Detective Comics 1066 by Kyle Hotz. Harley Quinn #24 by John Boy Myers. I Am Batman 15 by Carrie Randolph. Nightwing 98 by Brian Stelfreeze. Superman Son of Kal-El #17 by Stephen Butler. The Flash 788 by Todd Nyack. The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing #2 by Kelly Jones, fully embossed. Tim Drake, Robin #3 by Todd Nyack. Wildcats #1 by Brett Booth and Sandra Hope, fully embossed. And Wonder Woman 793 by Jen Bartel. And there is a complete gallery of covers at the end of this article. And let me just say, having looked at it, oh my goodness, I'm ready. I'm beyond ready. And it's about time, given what Jim Lee's role has been at DC, it's about time we got some of this stuff. I mean, seriously, if you weren't going to be out there just doing something outside of the occasional, hey, I'm going to draw for everybody, which not that bad. I always love seeing his artwork. But this is the stuff Jim Lee should have been doing. You know, it would have helped out with a lot of the other stuff we fans had to trudge through these last few years. So bringing back Wildcats, good idea.
Yeah, and I saw the comment about the character being gay. The actor Elsass had been questioned about that and said, no, there is no intention of the character being bi or gay back in January. And that was the last time I heard anybody asked about that. And of course, that's because Greg Berlanti's involvement in his push for identity politics, which Warner Brothers says, stop it. David Zaslav says, stop it. Stop doing that. You know, give me good stories. Stop fucking pushing for identity politics. So they pretty much shot that down. But I don't know about the actor in real life, you know, whether he is or isn't. I don't know what's going on with him. I really don't. I keep looking. I'm going to check every day for an update on what's going on with him, because
he's a good actor.
Sad. He's really fucking good. He's one of my favorite characters on the show, man.
Well, on top of that, as I said yesterday, there seems to be this weird history with a lot of these Berlanti actors, usually almost
and
every show.
Yeah.
Just
But like I said, a lot of actors are fucking crazy to begin with. I told you, when I was doing celebrity interviews, an actor, Jeremy Roberts, who's still a friend of mine, by the way, and I'm going to get him on here. I swear to God, I'm going to get him on here. He retired after he had his open heart surgery. He says, you know what? Life's too important. I'm going to enjoy the time I have with my wife and kids. And retired from acting. But everybody's seen him. He was the knight in the very first Capital One commercial that lifts his visor up and goes, "What's in your wallet?" Not to mention he starred with Bruce Campbell on Briscoe County. He was one of the brothers that he had troubles with. And he also played his best friend and Running Time, the movie I did all the movie art for.
Cool.
Has a funny scene in it too, with a hooker. Anita Barone is a hooker. She was so hot. She's a hot little Italian bird, man. Swear to God. Oh my God, am I being toxic? Oh God. So I don't know. This is very exciting. WILDSTORM, Wildcats. You think we'll see more from this?
I hope so. Look, I'm not sure if they have the Wildcats cartoon at HBO Max. They should by now. But it would be great to see if they could actually have some Wildcat animated films. If they could just use those characters more, that would be my thing. I know it's kind of
love that artwork. Look at that. Oh, wow. From my understanding, that's Jim Lee's work there. It's beautiful.
Really?
That's the one that they have. I'll look again, but I think that's when they gave credit to him on that one. It just says DC on that one article. Let's see if Comic Books gives proper credit. See, I got to open the image up and see if I can see the name on there.
Well, it seems like from the way everybody's been talking in our chat room, there seems to be a lot of WILDSTORM Wildcats fans. I wonder how many of y'all out there actually had some of the Wildcat toys that they had released.
Here comes my humor again. Hey, fuckers in the chat. Yeah, you fuckers. Take a look at this. See what you think. Can you see whose name that is? Fuckers. Everybody knows that when I refer to my friends, I refer to them as a gang, as a bunch of fuckers. That's what I call my friends. I cannot make out that signature. Can you? There's two there. I'm assuming one did the art, the pencils, and the other did the inks, and colorist didn't get
neither
credit.
of those signatures are Jim Lee's. That much.
Yeah. So who is it? That's why I'm asking. Who is that? I don't recognize it. Nothing.
Nothing.
You don't like them? All right. Why? Why do you dislike the artist on this? Because I actually like this style of drawing. It's very dynamic. It has an energy. Using the rule of to show action, you hide a leg. Frazetta established that.
I could not tell.
Oh, you're just being a shit. Okay, gotcha. I think if they're smart, they would bring back a show. That's why I was kind of excited when you showed me the link. I'm like, oh, are we going to bring back a show?
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be very smart.
I think they're headed down that way. I think if Jim Lee makes a really good pitch, and whoever they get to do it.
Do you really think Jim Lee's behind this?
Yeah, I really do. Because look,
all right.
Look, you can only take so much. I mean, let's think about both Marvel and DC over these last 5 years. Can we all just agree that it's been a big old pile of, you know what, and start from there?
Poodoo, as Jabba would say, poodoo.
Poodoo. But I mean, given what they've done to X-Men, given what they've done with even a lot of these weird books like Gotham High and everything, and I mean, come on, people. This has just not been good for both companies. So anything that at least gets us back to like the 90s, I mean, not everything was great, but it was a heck of a lot better than what we got going on right now. You know, kind of like the prequels in Star Wars. They may not have been the best, but they're way better than what we're getting now. So look, there's just a lot of people in working for DC and Marvel that, in my opinion, technically shouldn't be where they are at or have as much power and responsibility as they should. You know, they should have been working their way like everybody else that has been through that industry has had to do it, which is from the bottom up. You know, you learn and cut your teeth on characters that you may not be that familiar with. You don't get some person coming in off the street with their head full of whatever they got and just give them Batman. You know, you don't do that.
Right. Yeah, and I agree with you, Shinetsky. I hated that. It was just fucking dumb. Creepy.
It is. And come up with new... Look, if you really wanted to make...
Create your own fucking character that's gay. Stop.
Well, that or use the one that they already have. You notice how in all this stuff with Marvel, what's the one character you haven't seen? North Star. Where's he at? Why are you hiding him? What did he do to any of you guys? I mean, that's what never made sense to me. You've got a character that is out and proud gay, and yet I don't know. That one or give us Icon. That's what I'm talking about. You know, seriously. Icon would be fantastic. He'd set a lot of people straight.
Set them straight. Yeah, man. Yeah, just I'm still not getting any love from Colin Bunn online.
How about, hey Marvel?
You and I can be friends. Why can't Colin get over my being conservative? I don't know why.
How about we have the Blue Marvel show up in Marvel Comics? You know, Black Superman over there. Oh, wait a minute, because they have Captain Marvel. What? Is that one too many strong black guys there? I mean, have we reached the quota? I mean, you know what? I'm going to stop now because I'm headed into something that I shouldn't go off on because, you know, stuff. So.
Very much so. I've not seen very many comments from our good friend. I'm robot. There. She fucking comments. It's because I'm roboting. Only thing you got to say, Anima, is that it? I hear she's having some bad weather over there at work today.
Oh.
Yeah, you want Icon and Static Shock. Keith does too. I've heard it from him multiple times.
How can you have Michael B. Jordan signed and not... It's the same thing they did to The Rock. How can you have The Rock signed for this many years, ready to go, and...
Because Hamada and those guys, this is how they work. Oh my God, we got Michael B. Jordan. He wants to be in a superhero movie. What's the worst idea we can have?
Let's have him be
They don't
French
go for the best. They never, ever go for the best idea.
No. Again.
That's why they're fired from... The clown table's gone.
I'm renting myself out to just start slapping people. So if David Zaslav wants to hire me, I'll do it. I'll go through those offices.
Oh shit! Are we? What's going on?
Johnson and the. Anybody mind if I put my Johnson?
Oh, Hojo! Hi, Hojo. Hojo's in the house.
Hey, sup?
Tin Man's here too. Luciano Pereira is here. Good to see all you folks. Look, I'm sorry. Somebody wrote me something that made me smile.
Oh,
maybe
Mr. Tickle Truck. Oh, that's hardcore. You're right.
Oh shit! What'd he say?
Well, they
don't understand comics. That's why they're not nerds. Yes, etc., etc.
They also don't like money.
That's it. Lather, rinse, repeat. I got it. There is still, by the way, good news on the horizon that Tom Cruise still is listed for the sequel to his sci-fi film,
Oblivion?
Not
The other
Oblivion,
one.
no, the other one.
Mm,
They're both good. Actually, I like all of his sci-fi films.
Edge of Tomorrow?
Yep.
Edge of Tomorrow, which was actually called something else, but that's what the sequel
All You
is
Need Is
actually
Kill.
called. In fact, let me go to IMDb real quick.
All you need is kill.
Yep. The name that it's going under, though, is different. Let me find it here real quick. Tom Cruise.
Correct.
This one, Bill.
Yeah. Well, the irony is that particular name.
Live, Die, Repeat, and Repeat is announced.
Yeah, that was actually just the advertising for the poster, but because the way that poster was designed badly, people actually thought the name of the movie was Live, Die, Repeat. So it's like they should hire Gerry to make the next movie poster for this film. I'm sure he'd do it. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't you?
I'd make it look just like a Drew Struzan painting. That's what I would do.
Listen to that man.
Don't you look, if the wheel ain't broken, don't fix it. Drew Struzan is by far the second greatest movie poster artist in the history. Of course, Brown being number one. Brown was doing stuff all the way back into the 30s. And, you know, when he finally, you know, like Frazetta, he had medical issues, stroke, and he had to learn to work with his other hand, just like Frazetta did. And Frazetta, my God. Now, if you go back and look like the first year after he had his stroke, you could see he was having trouble. But after that first year, man, it was like he never stroked out. He just fucking was painting.
That's
but now
because he was a
left-handed.
beast. The dude was a beast.
Yeah, he was. He
Mr.
was a prodigal
Teturns.
artist.
Hey, Gerry.
Oh,
Mr.
yes. I see it. Thank you. As much as I mess around, love you guys and the hang. Yeah, of course. You know, we love you too, Mr. Dick Trunk. You're the guy. You're the man.
You know,
Fuck you, buddy. Fuck you.
You're gonna think this is gonna sound weird. Oh, let's go with Mr. Tickle Trunk, then I'll continue what I was saying.
Yeah, I need to do the little video thing. And this time I'm actually going to, instead of a video, I'm going to give you this image to enjoy, Mr. Tickle Trunk, for your edification. I'm going to leave this up there for a second until you've heard the voice of that character say those lines in your head. Boom, baby.
You know,
living in a van down by the river.
Speaking of Tom Cruise, you know what? I could see Tom Cruise if he's fully in control of the entire concept in the movie and hiring whoever he wants to direct. I can see Tom Cruise doing his own version of the Thunderbirds.
Well, what's really funny here is the fact that the film that he's mentioning, Tropic Thunder, had both Tom Cruise and Robert Downey Jr. So it would be fun to see them return where he's doing a Chinese knockoff of an Avengers film and turns to Robert Downey Jr. to help him with the character. That would be funny to me.
That is beyond funny.
It would be a buddy film. It's like, but you've already got your time. It's mine now.
Well, they lost that sweet opportunity with Doctor Strange. You have Downey and Doctor Strange, who has both been Sherlock, and no one of them said, "No shit, Sherlock."
You know, by the way, in a private conversation, I did say to a friend of mine, I said, well, you know, when you've got him in the role, clearly that film is going to suffer from the Robert Downey syndrome. Let that one sink in.
Yeah, it did.
The person I said it to didn't get the joke and they went, Down syndrome. I get it. I'm like, yeah, it took you long enough to jump up and catch up.
You know,
seriously, it took minutes for them to go, oh, wait, I just got it. I'm like,
That is such a fun movie. Wrong. Could never really be shot today, but it is such a fun movie. And if they should just go ahead and do the sequel. I mean, the spinoff. I would love to see that. They should also have Nick Nolte back.
Absolutely. I actually know a guy who lives in a van down by the river. His name is Tony. Don't fuck with him. That's real. Oh, fucking Kings Park, man. Bill Barkley. Yeah, Thunderbirds are different than Thunderbolts. And yeah, one is Gerry Anderson, and the other one is Marvel. And then, of course, Black Ass says Doctor Strange 2 is stupid. I will say that I enjoyed 80% of that movie, but only scored 60% of it as good. And the problem was because of the 40% that was really bad, it made the film stupid because the 40% was really bad that I didn't like. It was just fucking dumb, including the fucking Easter egg scenes of having characters come in and they just instantly die stupid deaths. If you're going to bring somebody in, give them an interesting functional death. Don't just waste them for the sake of wasting them. Nick Nolte has always been one of my favorite actors, but yeah, he's fucking a loose cannon in real life because he's a drinker. He has had a huge, long history with the booze.
Mm-hmm.
All the gangsters here fear me because I play mind games and started a war with them and the gang next city over. Is that a quote from something? I don't recognize that.
I think Matthew McConaughey should also return for the Les Grossman movie.
Oh, without a doubt. They need to get the team back together again, but do a better job than what John Cleese did when he did Fierce Creatures. Because, like, all of us were waiting for the Fish Called Wanda comedy follow-up. You know, was it going to be a sequel? Was it going to be new film? And they did a whole new film with the same cast, but it was not as good. It was just not a great film. It was a good film, not great.
Well, they should have kind of Les Grossman and turn him into a David Zaslav type, where he takes a really once great studio that
make fun of real people in the movie.
Yes, because it's not like Tom Cruise really cares. Seriously, is he really worried about his career now? I don't see him being afraid anymore. So you can do whatever.
Yeah. By the way, I'm a huge fan of 48 Hours, not a big fan of another 48 Hours, because they made Kehoe a bad guy.
Yeah.
Brian James' character. He was a good cop, and I thought that was cheap writing.
Well, that film was notorious because they decided to go ahead and rush the entire production.
Yeah, you could see it. You could see it. The quality of the writing was really not there.
Yeah.
But 48 Hours, man, has one of my all-time favorite lines.
Jack,
what was Nick Nolte's name? Jack. Yeah, Jack.
Yeah.
Jack, could you tell me a bedtime story?
Fuck you.
Oh, that's my favorite one.
You better tell him what he wants to know. He's having a ball with that call door.
Yeah, the car door. Oh shit, Luther. Superheroes made fucking money. Play dances. Yeah. Are you talking about the first 48 Hours? Yeah, the first one's great, dude. I love that fucking movie. I just forgot his name. Great. He was involved with Alien. Oh my god. Give me a second. 1982. It was Walter Hill. A lot of people don't know. Walter Hill was the guy that saved Alien, not just Ridley. Walter Hill. Because don't get me wrong, I loved what was created by Dan O'Bannon and Ron Shusett, but there was no alien in their story. It's just an alien world, and it was a haunted house story taking place on a planet. Ridley Scott said this works only if it's on the ship where they're confined and they can't find the monster. And so Walter Hill stepped in there. Roger Spotswood and Larry Gross also helped it. The main guy that really came up with so many ideas was Walter Hill. And Walter Hill, of course, was directly involved with 48 Hours. Great film. Great fucking movie. Yeah, fuck it. You know, I'm gonna robot. You know, not that I'm irritated with you guys bringing it up every time, but come on, man. We know what's going on. We all know. We all know. It's like making fun of somebody for having a small penis every time you see him.
If you're gonna robot, gotta let the man robot.
I'm hoping to get my SIM card today. So it may not be a perfect fix up front because I don't have the data yet. I had to order. I didn't have enough money to get the unlimited, but I'm going to upgrade it to unlimited on payday. So,
you know,
let's see.
If they ever decided to update the Towering Inferno, I mean, who would you cast in it? That's a good question. Tom Cruise would be one of them.
Absolutely. Look, you have to follow the pattern of how they made that and follow it. It's a recipe. It is a recipe, and you can vary here and there with some recipes the flavor, but you don't fuck with the core recipe. You just don't. And that is to have two major leading men play the two main characters. Mm-hmm. Don't gender flip them. Don't fucking do it. Don't be uncool. You just got to fucking follow the recipe. And he was the master of disaster for a reason. Because he knew how to do it. And sadly, though, he couldn't compete with Star Wars. He just couldn't. Jaws. Both those films put him out of business from making disaster films.
Well, and that was the end of disaster movies until 2012.
I read what you
Well, Independence Day, I should say.
Yeah, Independence. Well, look, there's no question that Roland Emmerich wants to be the master of disaster, and he just. I don't really think his films are all that good. I don't think he tells good stories. I don't think because the only thing that really worked with him is when he was working with what's his name, who did a lot of the writing, the actor turned writer. And they were partners. They did Independence Day. Independence Day works because of the writing.
Yeah.
I won't put anything in anything.
Not in the butter.
Keith doesn't know what I'm talking about because he's not
Dean
reading
Devlin.
the chat. You need what?
Dean Devlin.
Oh yeah, Dean Devlin, the writer. And Dean Devlin's kind of gone off on his own. I don't know if they'll ever work together again. You know, when everything fell apart with Stargate, that for them to finally get to do their Stargate, it seemed like they just went off again.
I wouldn't go that
I
harsh.
absolutely agree with you. I would agree with you. Stargate is better than Independence Day, in my opinion, writing wise. Better characters. I enjoy Independence Day. It's a fun film, but
what they had planned for Stargate was way better than anything they even had planned for the television show. And part of the reason why, you know, their relationship didn't survive is they made a mistake with Stargate that they had made with other big movies that they had made. They used the same formula, which is you go out and get as many different producers as possible because you're pulling in money wherever you can. Well, the downside to that is once you start making someone a producer after they've given you money, that also gives them a certain amount of rights to what you make. And Stargate had something like 14 different people who had a right to a piece of it. And it only took 2 or 3 of those people to agree to get the Stargate television series launched. Not everybody. And there was so much confusion that they went ahead when they started the show and just rebuilt everything. And the guy who was the prop master and who designed a lot of the props, I should say, he had the props from the movie. Nobody ever picked up the phone to call him. They had an interview with him and he goes, I didn't know they were making the TV show. I would have given him all the costumes for, you know, Raw and his staff and all that. I would have even given him the Stargate if somebody had just called me up. I mean, you know, that's how off base a lot of that was. And that's the reason why the television series looks so different.
Yeah. Peter DeLuise was the best thing that ever happened to Stargate. I liked it when he joined. I did. He was one of those actors from the 80s that, not just because he was Dom DeLuise's boy, because you had, there were two DeLuise brothers. And I can't remember the other brother's name. Both of them could act. Both of them do
Dom.
comedy.
No, that's their dad. Dom was their dad.
Dom was dad. But by the way, yes, I saw the comment about that movie you were talking about. Actually, Walter Hill it's a solid story that this assassin has forced sexual reassignment. And Michelle Rodriguez is that person when they are forced to become a woman. And it was kind of just like, hey, man, how could I do this whole gender swapping thing and do it in a way that nobody's done before? And that's Walter Hill thinking outside the box. I didn't think it was that good a film, but, that's not always the writer's fault. That's sometimes the director's. And I really don't think Michelle Rodriguez can act worth a shit. A lot of people like her. I don't dislike her. I just don't think she can act.
It's Peter DeLuise and Michael DeLuise.
Michael DeLuise. Michael went on to do pet food commercials. I saw him. It was like either Blue or one of those. I just saw him doing the commercials. I was like, holy shit, it's a DeLuise.
Well, before that, they were both on Sequest.
Look, man, I'm not going to fucking shit on you for saying that, black ass. But that to me is like saying, I'm going to stop eating Reese's Cups because Butterfinger. Let that sink in. This one candy bar is it for me. I will only eat this form of peanut butter candy. Now you understand why that makes no sense to me. That's just crazy talk, black ass. That's just crazy.
No, I was saying that he can easily walk away from the shit show that is
current Star Trek, yeah, but those old shows still exist, and I still watch the fucking shit out of them. I will go. Merchandise from Star Trek is still because I go to sleep. In order to control my PTSD, I sleep with TV shows on, and I don't have the lucid fucking horrific nightmares anymore. And the way I do that is sleeping to certain kinds of shows. Specifically, a lot of talking, needs to be going on. It needs to not be dark and fucking scary or weird. I wouldn't sleep to the Exorcist series or the films. That would just be asking for trouble. But I go to sleep to Star Trek, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, Adam 12, Perry Mason, Abbott and Costello TV series from the 50s. There's like a couple more that I sleep to. Andy Griffith. I've slept to Andy Griffith because these are shows where they're dialogue oriented. And so there's a lot of funny stuff happening. And I put it at a low level to where with my headset, I sleep with a headset on that goes into my head. And I can slightly hear the dialogue and it helps direct my dreams away from the negative shit.
Monkey Jeebus is starting a fight here.
I can't do that with Star Trek, man.
He's doing it because he knows I fucking hate Voyager.
I can't do that with Star Trek, or at least real Star Trek, because I have all 79 episodes committed to memory. It's somewhere in my brain. So if the music comes up and I'm hearing the dialogue, I'm waking up. I mean, even with the bad episodes, I'm waking up. That's just one of those shows for me, man.
Yeah, and I will tell you, Sequest season 1 was one of my favorite shows. It really did give a nod to Voyage Under the Sea.
Yeah,
dude,
I love
Star
that
Trek
show.
Underwater.
Yeah, it was Star Trek. Peter DeLuise was in it.
No.
Or was that Michael DeLuise?
No, he did.
One of the DeLuise boys is in it. Don't tell me no.
Not in the first season. Not in the first
No,
season.
I just said in the show, not in the first season.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. I remember that he had joined the team the main kid, he ended up, isn't he the one that died of a drug overdose in the
Yes,
early
Jonathan
2000s?
Brandis.
Yeah.
Yes, tragic. You know, drugs, man.
And he was a kid. I mean, he was younger than I was, so
Yeah.
he had
But
No. He committed
suicide.
Oh, yeah.
wasn't suicide, but it's still a drug overdose, right?
Let me double check. I'll check on Jonathan Brandis. Let's see, Jonathan Brandis.
And I want to clarify, when I said that it was Star Trek on underwater, I'm not trash talking it. I really like that series.
Wow. He died in 2003.
Yep, November 12th.
Oh, gosh.
Let's see.
Someone is in trouble.
Let's see.
Yeah.
He doubled up his high school courses so he could finish a year early for his role in Sequest. After his career stalled for a bit, he was hoping his role in serious drama film Heartsport, which is not a regular film, would relaunch it. However, most of his scenes ended up on the cutting room floor of the finished film. This caused him to fall into a deep depression, which he would drink heavily and tragically end his own life on November 12, 2003. It doesn't give the cause of death. As I recall, I just remember drugs being involved. So what's going on? What was that, Martin?
Oh, that you are in trouble, my friend.
How am I in trouble?
Look at this. Read this.
Oh shit.
Uh-oh.
And just like that, yeah, you can fuck off. No, you fuck off. Get off my desk. It comes in here like, I own that desk. I'm getting on that desk. Cat's like, we're friends now. No, we're friends, but you get the fuck off my desk. My problem with Voyager, and I thought you knew that, Anima, because I didn't think Kate Mulgrew was, she was whiny. I didn't like whiny. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy some of the stuff she's done. I did not like her in Star Trek. And that one fucking kid, Kim, Ensign Kim, or what the fuck his name was.
Yeah, Ensign Harry.
That guy could not fucking act his way out of anything. That guy was just awful delivering dialogue. Just awful. The series got interesting when they finally brought Q over. I watched those. I like Q. You know, he's one of my favorite Star Trek. Gene Roddenberry created characters. I believe that he is an offshoot of Trelane. And they did confirm later that Trelane and his parents were part of the Q continuum. I also believe those creatures, I forget their names, Metrons. Metrons, is that it in the Gorn episode?
Mm-hmm.
The Metrons. I believe that they were actually part of the Q continuum too.
Like an early version of the Q.
Yeah, it's clearly they're omnipotent.
Yeah,
I don't know about Trelane.
I almost said omniscient, but most people don't know that word, so omnipotent is a better way of phrasing it.
Because the behavior of Trelane and his parents do not go with the Q. Besides,
but Gene himself said that that Qs, is what they were.
The Qs has not reproduced on eons.
Well, I think, Martin, we can fucking let that go. Not worry about it. It doesn't fucking matter.
You're always so nice to me.
I know, I love you so much, buddy. We can let it go. No, I accept it. Gene said it. But Gene also said something once that pissed me off, which was he took a dig at Star Trek V. And I'm like, hey, it was your fucking buddy that ruined that film, not Shatner. Agreed, Shatner shouldn't have listened to him. Nimoy warned him.
Yep, Nimoy did warn him.
And that's not Harv Bennett. Who it was?
Yeah, it was Harv Bennett.
Harv Bennett. Yeah, Harv Bennett was the problem with Star Trek V. He's the one who fucked everything up.
He thought because of the work he did on Star Trek II that somehow made him the most logical person to take over the entire Star Trek franchise, both in film and TV. And it was like, no. nobody knew anything, thought that was going to be his. It's great that that he helped. It's great that he came up with a formula, but no.
Look, man, Kingsport Kyle, I got to tell you, way too many fucking times have I said something and had people just stare at me because they weren't sure what the fuck I just said. And I realized that I'm not dumbing down my language because omnipotent is still that's a $20 word, omnipotent. But the fact is saying it the other way really might confuse a percentage of people. They've never heard that word.
Omniscient is not omnipotent.
Being omniscient is what I said.
Yeah, it is not the same as being omnipotent.
Omnipotent means all powerful, all knowing.
Yeah, and no.
Omniscient
powerful.
is having those. It means having those powers. It's like one is the describer and the other one is the active act of it.
Omniscient is all-knowing. Omnipotent is all-powerful. They're two separate things.
I beg to differ, my friend. There is more to it than that. But we are going to move forward because we are now at the hour and a half mark, and I'm already went in the show. It's like that stuff I got to do today. Not to mention another fucking show.
Which? Oh, the 2 o'clock, right? TGIF.
Well,
kids and subtitles. Save us.
I can see if there's any other updates, and I'm not seeing any other updates. Let me look at this one. Hold on. We got a Google News.
Hey, Gav After Dark. Welcome.
I think overall, there are a few things that, in my opinion, DC could do that would really help them a lot. If there are going to be more layoffs and firings, they should just go.
Well, there's something that we do need to address because Six sent something out earlier, and I want to go back to that because that was, I think, an important one. It's not from a magazine I give two shits, online magazine I give two shits about. I cannot stand Vice. I think Vice is a politically driven leftist company. Not liberal, fucking leftists. But they do catch things every once in a while, and I absolutely fucking go, wow, they caught this. All the way back in July, this article came out. Share screen. Boom, baby. And Six found this and shared it with me this morning. Waypoint Games by Vice. Why is a game publisher trying to buy every video game ever made? And who is that company? Embracer. And here you go. Embracer wanted to, in its own words, quote, have a copy of each physical game ever made, end quote. This is a company with a fucking plan. And whether they meant to or not, by purchasing Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit and total of 6 IPs, I'm serious, man. They were outed for what they're doing, and now there's no hiding anymore. They've been hiding, doing this. Well, this is stuff they were doing, trying to go under the radar with.
Yeah. Well, they've been doing it all year. Remember, 3 of their biggest purchases all took place this year. Okay. And on top of that, got some money from Saudi Arabia, who invested $1 billion.
$1 billion. That's right.
And it's like, look,
$1 billion.
And remember, this isn't them asking for money. This is Saudi Arabia going, here, have $1 billion. Let us invest in what you're trying to do.
We see what you're doing, and we want part of it.
So,
only no Jews. You know, I laughed when
Here
somebody
we go
called.
again.
I laughed when somebody called Arabs anti-Semitic, and I said, "Do you even know what the word Semitic means?" Because a lot of people don't know what that fucking word means, and it does not just mean Jewish. It means people from that region. That includes Arabs. If you say things that are anti-Arab, you're being anti-Semitic. Smoke that in your pipe.
Look, I've discussed this in private with you before, Gary, since this all came up. I really do think that they are planning something big. Something that's really going to
Something is coming from this that's going to be shocking.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. And I predict many different versions of J.R.R. Tolkien games, from RPG to first person, board games, card games, everything that you've ever wanted from Lord of the Rings, you're going to get. I also see them licensing, because this is a hell of a thing to have the rights to, owning the rights to, because Amazon can continue doing their show, and now they'll have to pay Embracer.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I still think it's going to be garbage. I don't think anything good will come from what Amazon did.
No.
And I guarantee you 99% positive on this. I am absolutely positive that Amazon knew they were doing damage to the IP with their show. Mm-hmm. And it was intentional. But what the unintended consequence is, they did so much damage, they hurt themselves to where they couldn't afford to buy the rights.
Yeah.
I think that their commitment to 5 seasons of this stupid fucking idea, horrible, fucking disastrous idea, cost them the ability to buy. And I'm glad they didn't get it, because I think they would have fucked J.R.R. Tolkien shit up.
Oh, yeah.
And do nothing but create hate.
There's a lot of people that are going to be out of a job over the course. With by this time next year, there are going to be some changes in Hollywood. And I think there are a few people currently working for both Disney, Warner Brothers, and CBS Paramount that probably won't be working there anymore by this date next year. So,
no, we're not that big of a show, Bill. We're when we met Andre and Tom, that's where we're at right now. 3 years ago, we're at where they were when we met them. So we're not big enough yet. So we didn't get any offers for that. But I got to tell you, like, running BladeZone.com and being the founder of BladeZone, every single time something came up about Blade Runner, I got free shit. I got the entire Final Cut in the briefcase, and they sent me other stuff with it, hats and shit. And in '97, when the game came out, I was sent 3 free copies of the game for the team at BladeZone. And I like that, man. That was really cool. But I didn't think it was going to work, because it was a multi-disc game. But they weren't into the layers of laser discs, the CD-ROMs. CD-ROMs within the next 6 years were different. They had multiple layers. You had to have a special laser that could read through layers of information. And so by the time 2006 came around, they could have put the entire game on one CD-ROM. But that's it. I like Resident Alien. I'm glad we've got more show coming. Mm-hmm. I enjoyed this latest episode. If you're not watching that show, you should. I didn't think I wanted to watch it when I saw what they were doing, and I'm like, oh, they're straying too far from the comic book. But then I'm like, no, you know what? They actually did it better. The comic is subpar to the story of the fucking TV show. And I'm really shocked. And that kid, I fucking love that actor. I mean, he's been around for a while, and not because he was in Firefly. I know him from a lot of stuff, but yeah, he was in Firefly. And
he's just talented. He can do.
He was the a robot in iRobot. A lot of people don't know that.
Well, he was also the robot in he was also the main droid in Rogue One.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And also the man, what was that? He's done a lot of he's done Disney films, he's done Pixar movies, he's done a lot of voices. So he's making money. You know,
Alan Tudyk. I fucking love him, man.
He was also the bad guy in Dollhouse.
Doom Patrol too.
Yes, he was.
I'm
sorry that show may go, but you know what? I have to believe that there's something really cool on the way that a lot of this will be replaced within the next year to 2 years. You know,
that is so cool. And yeah, you brought that up that you've, having worked in film and stuff. That is cool shit, dude. I'm assuming that he was as nice in person because I've seen people talk about him and know people who've met him and say he's really, really nice. Yeah, he was Wash. And I got to tell you, I did not like the TV series that much, even though I did watch it. But I love the characters. I just didn't think that. I don't like Joss Whedon's writing. I just don't. I don't think he's that good a writer. But the movie was so fucking good. And I like the wrap up, except for one thing. I was okay with the death of Ron Glass's character because, what's that?
I'm just telling everybody out there, spoilers, kids.
The movie's over a fucking decade old.
It's over a decade, but making fun of those people. Like, don't tell me,
don't tell me. It's not my fault that you haven't watched the fucking movie yet. But when Tudyk dies, I actually cried watching that scene. I expected Ron Glass's character to sacrifice himself. I was sad by it. But when suddenly, out of the blue, he gets pierced in the chest and killed.
That's an effective death because it helps.
Oh my God, it broke me for a little bit. I was like,
that's what it was
my
meant
God.
to do. That the entire third act and the way it plays out rests on having that shocking death.
Hey, by the way,
no, he's not the goat. He is a goat. I don't like Joss Whedon.
By the way, Tudyk is the voice of Optimus Prime on the new.
I didn't know that. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
and it sounds very good. I watched the trailer and I watched the trailer with reservation, and then he spoke and oh my God, he nailed it.
Also, he's the voice of both Clayface and the Joker in Harley Quinn animated series.
I wouldn't know.
Look, Hojo, this is where Keith and I stand on this. Titan's not good. It's not good. I hope they gank the shit out of that fucking show. Little kids running around talking like big boys.
Come on.
Fuck dad. Oh fuck. It's just silly.
Tell us how you really feel about it.
The pushing of girl strength on that is ridiculous. While on Doom Patrol, it's not so much she's strong. She's kind of a cunt. She's a bitch. That multi.
Yeah, she's the only one.
Kid.
She's written a particular way, but she's not one of my favorite characters. In fact, if you got rid of her,
she's not the best character in the show. And I know that Greg Berlanti wanted the one character to be the big hit on the show, but absolutely Brendan Fraser as Robot Man is just a knockout of the park character.
Oh, geez. Well, Crazy Jane's not one of the original members of the Doom Patrol anyway, but she's a more recent member. But if you got rid of Crazy Jane, you'd have what I think.
Crazy Jane, get me off this crazy train. Anyway. Wonder, Gerry, and Keith Powers activate. Oh yeah, what they did with Starfire is unforgivable. She's a gorgeous lady and she can act.
God.
What a terrible casting.
Dressing her up the way they did when you first see her was bad. I mean, bad. You dressed her like a hooker. It's freaking Starfire.
Like a
Come
hooker
on.
from the 70s.
Ooh.
Just really bad decisions on that show. They made Nightwing cry baby. Yeah. Can't have a strong male, man. Can't. It's not allowed.
And this is the reason why
absolutely, Marshall. Absolutely. That show can completely and utterly fuck off. But Doom Patrol, the chemistry somehow works in that. Yeah, there's one episode I can't stand. It's the orgy episode.
Come on, man.
I fucking hate that. It's so fucking vulgar that I couldn't enjoy it. And you guys know how vulgar I am. If I look at something and say it's too vulgar, something's up.
Is it, okay, let me clarify. Is it the Danny the Street one, or is it the orgy episode?
The orgy episode where his powers causes everybody to get overly sexualized.
Yeah.
And people are busting nuts everywhere. And we got ghosts. And it's just, I watched that episode and it's like, look, man, when Berlanti fucking gets overly heavy-handed with the gay shit, and it makes me start going, come on, man. Yeah, that one's a problem. And the other bust in that episode, his pushing, it's the whole LGBTQ thing that he pushes that annoys me. Because it's like, just let it be there. Stop putting it front and center all the time and make it a point to point it out. That's what virtue signaling means. When you do that, it becomes false. It's fake. I've always been a big supporter of having gay characters in your shows, movies, because they're in my life. I have them in my life. And some of them are some of the funniest, most decent people I've ever known. And that's the way I want to see them represented. It's just part of the crowd, the group. Mm-hmm. Don't stop fucking putting a star on them. Going, pay attention to this one. Everything is about what this guy feels. I don't give a shit about what a character feels. What I care about is what is conveyed to the audience through story. That feeling shit is for discovery and why it doesn't work. Tell me I'm wrong, Keith.
I can't.
They tell you how you're supposed to feel instead of making you feel that way by showing you things. It's bad writing. Oh, yeah, we're asking for sex bots right now. Sex bots are the greatest thing that ever happened to life. Oh, wait, we're talking about different sex bots. I thought you were talking about the ones that you fuck. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the ones that you jump in our chat and put up ads. Oh, they're okay too. They're still actually, look, I'm going to tell you, they help the algorithm. They're just another viewer to YouTube. So basically, Doom Patrol did their own version of the Naked Now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really kind of was.
I like the fact that Robot Man felt left out, so he had to try to fake.
And I got to tell you, my other favorite character on the show is Timothy Dalton's character as that world. And then
Niles Calder.
And I hate saying this because I know the man, but I really like Dr. Silas, Stone. I like that character. I like the turmoil that he's caused, that he has as a character over who his son is and what he's done. It's a really good dynamic character. I wish he was in more.
Well, Phil's a great actor,
There you go, Kingsport Cow. You know what I'm talking about.
Everybody.
Peter Venkman's site is finally back on. By the way, when we looked for her the other day and couldn't find her in the blocked window, when I went looking again last night, she was in there. So I'm guessing it didn't get propagated correctly. And when I went to look, she wasn't in there the night that she mentioned it. But last night I found her. I removed her. I'm like, I don't know how you got in there. somebody with a wrench fucking kicked your ass into the fucking block window. Phil Morris. Yeah, Phil Morris is a friend of mine. He's one of those people, Keith will tell you, I fucked with when I first met him, like in a big way, to where he thought he was losing his mind. I pranked the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I sent two ladies to his booth at Smallville Comic Con in Kansas. And I'm just looking over watching. I said, if you guys want signed prints of everything, one of each, I will give this to you. If you go down to Phil Morris's table and tell him what an amazing actor he is, and then follow the statement with naming movies and TV shows he's never been in. And just start naming things that Denzel Washington, Lawrence Fishburne, and other great black actors have been in. Even Sidney Poitier. I'm like, go ahead, just do it. And they did. They went down there and they're doing it. And it was so funny because like he started in sitting back position, then he started leaning forward to where he was like over the table. And he's like, I wasn't in that. Thank you so much, but I'm not in any of those things you named. And he thought he was losing his mind. He told me this. And finally they started cackling and laughing. And then they pointed down at me about 25 to 50 yards away. And I'm there and he turns and looks at me and I went, with my rubber arm. And then he came over, bought one of my drawings that he bought the Darth Maul piece I painted. And we became friends. I got his private contact info and he says, you're fucking crazy. And I'm like, no.
We had him as a guest on the show.
Phil Morrison, yeah. Let's see. Martin Acosta Santana, why didn't you show my chat? What's he?
Don't know which one is he talking about, and because I showed this one, and everybody loved it.
Oh, here we go. Is it worth buying the physical media for Doom Patrol? I've not seen the show. One, this is where I'm coming from, different from Keith. I didn't like the comics, any iteration of it. I was not into that comic. It was too silly for me, too weird. I just like, nah. But I'm the same way with Superman. I kind of read the Superman comics as a child, but when I became more discerning, I didn't think he was an interesting character. I wanted human characters who didn't have superpowers. They were my primary favorites. Daredevil, even though yes, he has echolocation, he would die from a bullet shot. He could fall to his death. He has no physical superpowers. Batman. Spider-Man, sort of, because despite having his mutation from the spider bite, he had so many fucking problems in his life. His powers couldn't help his fucking private life. And I like that. So those three became my primary focus for a long time. And then like in the 80s, right around 1980, I read John Byrne's X-Men, and his version of Wolverine was badass. And so I became focused on Wolverine too. So those are all my favorite characters. Those four.
The Doom Patrol series is actually based on a more recent version of the comics,
which means crap. We based it on the hit comic series. You know, in your mind, it's a hit. You lost money on it. Nobody fucking want to read your comics. Only certain comics sell today. In the last decade, Conan, Savage Sword of Conan, all that shit, they always sold. You know, because for many years, the estate kept the comic companies honest with how they drew and presented Conan. But I noticed that I don't think there's a coincidence that the woke mob went after one drawing this last year from Conan and made him change it. And then all of a sudden Marvel doesn't have Conan anymore.
Well, yeah, because they broke the rules. I mean, the thing about Conan that made it so cool was that while Marvel did have the rights to print Conan comics, the stipulation
They oversaw. That's right. The estate oversaw it.
Yeah, they could not change anything in the story.
And they did. And I'm telling you, that's not a coincidence that that change was made and then the agreement was null and void. And now Conan is starting to move into what do they call it? Public domain.
Yep, next year.
And so we're going to see everybody. I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to do my version of Conan. I fucking love that fucking comic, man. I love Conan as a character. He's one of my favorite characters.
I highly suggest that you any of those Conan related episodes from Midnight's Edge. Every single one of those Andre takes a lead on. Learn something. Just seek those out because you will learn a lot from those. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming in the next few years that it's public domain. I think Winnie the Pooh's already crossed over this year.
Yeah, that's why we're seeing so many fucking crazy things coming up that I want to fucking see. Breaking Bad, Winnie the Pooh type story, to the horror one, slasher story. I'm all in. I am all fucking in on this. By the way, I wanted to point out something you said in the chat, Keith, earlier on our private chat on Twitter. All of this is a prelude to what could be one of the biggest stories since Disney purchased Lucasfilm or Marvel. The shadows are moving. I like that statement. And you also said some stuff over on our private chat with Tom Andre and Mikey Sutton.
Yeah.
Do you want to go over any of what you said there?
I can. Look, I'll tell you what I think. This is my theory. Okay. I think that Embracer is moving to buy a studio. And not just any studio. They're looking to buy probably Sony because Sony's been up for sale from Sony Japan. They've been wanting to get out of the whole movie thing for quite a while. And yes, even with the success of Spider-Man earlier this year, Sony Japan's been looking for someone to sell Sony Studios to. Which means that if it gets purchased, the first thing that's going to happen, the very first thing that's going to happen is poof, the Spider-Man rights controversy is no longer controversial because Marvel will automatically regain the character magically, which means Tom Holland will officially be a part of Disney. And any future Spider-Man films will be a Disney situation. That also means that if this happens before the end of the year, Sony is going to have to do something about their sequel to Into the Spider-Verse. They'll have to negotiate something with Disney because now the shoe will be on the other foot. So, and I think that'll take care of any future sequels to Into the Spider-Verse, unless they can come to some sort of a understanding. But I think a lot of things will change overnight if that happens. But getting back to Sony, you guys do understand, if that does happen, that means this company will not only have Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, they'll have Ghostbusters. So, and that's just some of what is in the film library for them. Sony has an incredible film library that's been built on top of the original Columbia library. Both their film and television stuff. Look, everybody wants one. In fact, had they not been spending like drunken sailors, I think even Netflix could have eventually have negotiated to buy Sony, which would have done them a hell of a lot more good than where they're at right now. Because that's their problem. That's the reason why they keep spending all that money. They got nothing underneath them. They got nothing backing them up. They have to depend on outside people to come in with stories and ideas, and they just give them money, which not only allows them to make the film, but at the same time for Netflix to negotiate to have the exclusive rights to whatever they create, unless it's something that was already created coming in. And if everybody's got their own streaming service, which is what makes David Zaslav smart, because he's no longer going to play that game. His thing is, if he can make a movie, no matter how it does at the box office, there's nothing wrong with making a little money on the side or making as much money as you can. If somebody's willing to pay for it, whether it be Disney, Amazon, or anyone else, he'll let them have it because it's money. And right now, nobody else is thinking like that. Disney's just like, we got a streaming service. We're good, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Hojo, I saw they're putting in Scarlet Spider. I actually like Ben Reilly and both costumes he wore. That's interesting. Yes, Lindsay, we heard about this. I'm very excited about the forthcoming game. And Disney would probably let Sony keep making the cartoons, just no longer control Spider-Man.
Well,
because Sony's animation studio is really good.
Yeah, but they'll just want to get paid. That's all. Disney doesn't care.
I need to share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is why I have to end the show. It's here. I got my new SIM card. It's been delivered. There you go. So, plus, I want you to know how long I timed you. That was a 6-minute fucking rant.
6?
I thought you would take us into the top of the hour, and you fucking went way beyond. But it was good statements, man. I liked what you had to say. But yeah, we are over, and I want to fucking go. I want to say thank you and hello. I see some people tripped in at the end here. Brightest Day, Peter Vickman said I did. Henry Cavill, video fans is here. I didn't get to say hi to them. And La Adelita. La Adelita is here. Welcome to the end of the show. But rewind. There's a lot of fun stuff. Sit back and hear a tale. The fate of a fit, or the what is? How does it go?
Tale of a faithful.
Sit right back and hear a tale. The tale of a faithful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship.
The mate was a mighty
sailor man. The skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour.
I can't even believe
the vessel started getting rough. The tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. Ship set down on the shore of this uncharted desert isle with Gilligan, the skipper, millionaire and his wife, the movie star,
that would have been short.
The professor and Mary Ann here on Gilligan's. Now, how big of a fan am I? I also know the outro theme. Do you remember that? I got to get the cue. Hold on. Island outro.
Oh man,
theme.
I don't remember.
Because I got to remember the last fucking word.
I don't remember.
Lyrics. Gilligan's outro theme lyrics. Because I fucking love that show. Because it's no wait. I remember. No stars. No phones. No lights. No motor cars. Not a single luxury like Robinson Crusoe. It's as primitive as can be. So join us here, my friend. You're sure to get a smile from 7 stranded castaways
Here on
Gilligan's Island. Fucking love that. Now, John Williams had nothing to do with that. But John Williams was all the incidental music in the episodes. All that music you heard on Gilligan's Island during the show was Johnny Williams that time. He was a jazz pianist at the time.
And also a lot of incidental music for Man from U.N.C.L.E. and from Lost in Space.
Yeah, well, Lost in Space was his first major gig. He did both themes from season 1 and 2 and 3, and then changed it on season 4 to the theme that we best know today.
Yeah.
It's really weird. If you go back and listen to the original theme that he wrote, it's not as memorable. But when he did that second theme, it's went bam, 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 bam. What a fucking kicking tune.
Hey, it's just like Magnum PI. The first version of the Magnum PI theme, not a lot of people thought was memorable, even though I loved it. I love the original Magnum PI.
Yeah, it was Pete Carpenter by himself, as I recall, did that one. But then he worked with someone else to do the actual Magnum theme. I think that was Pete Carpenter and now I got to go look.
Mike Post.
Mike Post. Let me double check, make sure I got my shit right, because I might be wrong.
I don't think they did the first theme. I don't think either one of them did the first one, because it was more of a jazz influenced theme, and I loved it.
Yeah, it was. I think it was something that they just had sitting around.
Yeah.
Beginning at episode 12, Pete Carpenter and Mike Post and guitarist Larry Carlton.
Larry
Carlton, yeah. They worked together to create that memorable theme. That was so good they even kept it for the new series, even though the new series sucked.
Yeah. But I love the original theme that they started out with.
Well, it's longer. That's all. It's the same theme. It's just the full version. Whereas the one that we get with the new Magnum PI is a truncated version. I think it's 30 seconds shorter. And you would be surprised because those producers love putting their names in the credits. You'd think that they would make the theme longer, like they did with Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. Half of the opening theme is the important part, and then the second half of the opening theme for Strange New Worlds is just the fucking asshole producers that nobody gives one fucking shit about. But they put up front.
Yep.
That's what it is. It's all about ego in Hollywood.
Yep.
I would have for the minnow. Yeah. Butter dish.
You know what? If Skipper had been black, Gilligan never would have made it off that island. It's like, you did what?
No.
Come here, boy. Come here. Let's go for a walk.
Choked him to fucking death. It's like, hey, Skipper, where's Gilligan? He went for a swim. My goodness, I hope the sharks don't get him. Dumb motherfucker.
Look at the flowers. Look at the flowers, Gilligan. Just look at those flowers.
Yeah, look at the flowers. That's where we're going to have the rabbit hutches.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody? I don't know if anybody got that reference. I hope so.
More people need to
read.
I
expect my audience. I expect my, our audience to be literate. So I want to thank D. Bud Martin. He was the first one here. Dr. Dragon, Marshall, Monkey Jeebus, Alatar, Mr. Tinkletrunk, Scott Lewis, Sox Bulletins, Willie Woodward. And once again, Willie, I saw your video last night. Very cool, the music you're doing. Wajid was here. Cece, Raging Rat, Christopher Carroll, DC Talk with Extended, Kings Bortkal, Pops, Pat S, Decepticons Cave of Villains, War Monkey. Oh, wait, that's not a name. That's you leaving a message talking to my mom. I was about to read that. Brandon, the anime guy, Baked Bean, Lindsay, the cynical geek, Dragon Bricks, Penny J, Script Doctor, Latino Slant Polly, 6 was here, Black Az, Shinatsky, Mohammed Saeed, Anima Confusa, Luciano Pereira, Tin Man, Hojo, Gap After Dark, the Gap previously known as Gap Stargate, Brightest Day, Peter Vickman fan side, Henry Cavill video fan, and Lo Adelita was here. Anybody else? Did I miss anybody, Martin? Did I get everybody? Did I say Bill? I said Bill Barkley, right? I don't remember saying it. So Bill Barkley, yes. Look, I got to tell you, dude. I color my mustache so you fucking people can see it. And I left it on, I think, 2 minutes too long. And it really looks like Groucho Marx's drawn-on mustache right now. Drives me crazy looking at it. It'll eventually fade a little bit, and I won't leave the coloring on as long. I don't color my hair, but I color my mustache and beard. Because unlike Keith, white does not show up against my face. You can't see it. And by the way, Bill Barkley, fuck you, dude. Fuck you.
I told you could fill the blanks with a Sharpie.
This looks like I did it with a Sharpie. What are you talking about? It looks totally like a Sharpie mustache. Thank you guys for being here. It was a wonderful show. I had a blast today, and we're going to have a blast this afternoon. We're going to be talking about a lot of the same stuff. Not an interview today. I am talking with Peter Mayhew's niece about coming because she's an amazing artist. I met her through Shane Moore, a mutual friend of Keith's and mine. And she's just so delightful. Such a sweet person, but she's also very soft-spoken, private. So getting her on the show has been, it's a job. It is a job. You have a full mustache like a man.
So our next show is TGIF at what time again, kids?
It will be in an hour and 45 minutes from now. It would have been 2 hours if we ended the show at the top of the hour. But no, Keith had to fucking keep talking about that fucking shit over there, DC. Yeah.
Projecting much?
And once again, before we go, I want to end with this happy note. What kind of clown do you take me for? The dead kind. There you go. That's the end of the show, guys. Go home. Or get prepared to get some more popcorn to watch us this afternoon as we and the entire TGIF team start digging in stuff and derailing one another. Happy day.